Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm James, and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Now, we're talking about today something that we haven't ever talked about on this channel before, and that is turtles. You can see we have a big one down here, and then we have another one down there. But this is the one that we're actually talking about today. This one is a yellow belly slider turtle. You can tell they have yellow belly, and then they actually have the little markings behind their head. Now these guys come from southeastern United States, so they are native here, which is awesome and really cool. So if you ever wanted to put one of these guys in your pond, he's like, where's the food? Where's the food? So if you want to put one of these guys in your pond, and let's say, God forbid, it gets out, it's not going to be a problem because they are native here. But still do everything in your power to make sure that they stay inside your pond or inside the area that your pond is sitting. Now, diet on these guys is a little bit all over the place. They will eat dry pellets. They'll eat live meat. So, like, I've seen them eat pinkies. I've seen them. People will dice up chicken. And they'll also eat veggies. So like all this vegetation you can see is kind of shredded, and that's from this one right here, this girl, just shredding everything. Are you just spying on us? Is that what you're doing? So overall size on these guys is 8 to 11 inches. Now how a turtle is measured is they are actually measured from just above their tail to right behind their neck. Across the shell. That's how you get the overall shell length, and that's how they're characterized by their size. Because could you imagine trying to get a size when they just want to tuck their head in? No, that would be an absolute headache. Now, as a defense mechanism, these guys will tuck their head in. They will tuck their arms in. I'm sorry, I can't take him seriously. He's just such a goofball. Pop you. But yeah, sometimes you do have to assist them and help. These guys are absolutely great swimmers. You can tell by their pads between their feet or between their toes. But sometimes with shed, we do help pull out their arm. Obviously, don't pull it out too far. Be very gentle, or actually watch a video on how to help a turtle with shedding. But sometimes they do get stuck shed around their shell or underneath their arms and legs. Now, lifespan for these guys is about 25 to 30 years. This girl right here is about 8 years old. So, and she's actually not even really that big. She is about 8 inches, so she's full grown. But I have a female at home that makes her look like a midget. I mean, the one at home is probably 16 inches. It is the biggest yellow belly slider I've ever seen. I actually had to do a double take and make sure that it was actually the same species, because I was like, are you sure? They don't get that big. But it dwarfs on the size. I mean, this one is just so much smaller than our other one. We did have it here for a little bit, but it clearly, even for retail setting, the tank wasn't big enough, and so we actually took it home to put in our 6,000 gallon pond. And then when this girl sells and finds a new home, then we'll bring her back. But I think I'm gonna wait until we have a 75 open so that she has more room to run, or well, not run, but swim. Now, tank size on these guys, as babies or juveniles, they can be in a 20. Then they would be moved to a 40, which is what she is currently in. And then as adults, they should be in a 75 or 100 gallon. But like I said, realistically, these guys should be in ponds. One cool thing about the turtle, and I actually just learned this from our vet, was that these guys can actually breathe through their cloaca. And so they can bring oxygen in through the cloaca and then let it back out. This is actually how they survive winters, because they're down below the ice caps and they don't need to come up and take a breath of air. Obviously, in this case, you can see her, she's just coming up and down and checking everything out. Filtration for a turtle. This goes without said, this doesn't matter what type of turtle, but you can see all of the debris going around, and that's because she keeps kicking up all the gravel and everything, and so it just keeps constantly stirring up the tank. Now, with turtles, you want to do a filter that can do 2 to 3 times the amount of gallons. So this is a 40-gallon tank. We would want a 120-gallon filter rated on this tank for this turtle. Lighting, so these guys do need UVB, and they do need a basking spot. You can see we actually have a double light here. Well, I mean, it's a single dome, but the light does both. It does basking and UVB. And they have driftwood in here, and you can see there's all kinds of driftwood in here so that she feels right at home, she feels safe. There's lots of space for her to move around and feel comfortable, or if there's too many people looking at her, then she can just go and hide. Now, their temperatures, the water temperature should be about 72 to 80 degrees. If you are going to do a heater inside the tank and you don't have a sump or an external source, I would get a caged heater, and let me actually show you what I'm talking about. That would be these heaters right here. AquaTop makes these, but you can see that there is a cage around the heater. That way the turtle doesn't get burned, or there's less likelihood of it actually breaking, which is what we want. We don't want, and these guys are clutches. They actually redecorated a couple of my lights in my pond yesterday. So they are constantly moving stuff around. They're moving the driftwood around, looking for food, but basking spot should be 90 to 95 degrees. So they definitely need a space where they can actually come out of the water. Now, it's up to you on if you want them to come fully out of the water. This girl does it all the time. There's actually a big piece of driftwood that's right below that duckweed and that water lettuce that she can come and prop on and bask and get her UV that she needs. But turtles, definitely keep it in mind, this is a lifetime commitment. They're very, very messy. Your tank will never be full. So it's actually weird because when we don't have turtles, this tank is completely full. And so when we don't have turtles, it's so weird for me to see this tank completely full because I'm just not used to it because we always keep turtles in here. Same thing down there. That tank looks weird being half full. But biggest thing is lots of places for the turtle to climb out of. That way they can climb up and out of the water. They do make platforms that you can suction to the side of your aquarium, or you can go the realistic effect way and do natural driftwood. It's up to you on how you want it to look. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, the big question, you wanna say it? You wanna say it? You wanna say it? Your tank or mine?